wait, can you all hear the phone ringing?
The phone is definitely
it's
ringing.
ringing, isn't it? Casper, isn't it ringing? Do this, and then no, it's ringing. Whoa. Yeah.
I need one of those old school like phones. I'm getting older.
Right, I'll answer it. Don't worry, everybody.
Nice, smashed it.
Right, let's listen.
Embarrassment. Hi, Max and George. Love the pod. I basically just need some advice about embarrassment. I shat myself. I was driving to work, and it's like a 6-lane road. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be sick. Pulled over. I was sick. Stuff was coming out the back end too. Didn't expect that. Turned around. Got home again. Showered. Threw those trousers in the bin. Fresh trousers. We're on our way back to work. About an hour into my shift, I was like, oh my God, it's coming again. The two-pronged attack is back. Vomit into the toilet. Nice. Shit myself while I'm doing that. Then sit on the toilet to do a shit. Vomit down myself. So the cycle repeats. It's everywhere. It's all over the walls. It looks like a war crime. And then I just had to text my boss and be like, I'm so sorry, I've got to go home right now.
What a trooper.
Like, I'm really, really, really sick. What do I do? I'm never going to get a shift again. Anyway, let me know your advice.
I mean, Casper, what advice would you give?
Well, you're a mouth breather. You've got mouth tape. Maybe they could use that in other areas.
That's why it happens. I mean, that's incredible. I mean, there are these tablets you can take.
Not Casper just giving out a prescription.
Imodium.
Imodium, yes.
And then there's.
I think she's more so trying to overcome the shame.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like don't be shamed. That's I said like. How the hell that she felt like I guess maybe she had to go to work, right?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
That's a great employee, but
that
also maybe
people actually go to work these days. That is
wow.
No, but like
cheers to you.
I mean, you're feeling that ill and you go home and then you go back to that's like employee of the month.
Yeah, there's no chance I'd be staying at home if I shit myself. I'll tell you that for free.
But yeah, I mean, again, as I said, like I don't know. It sounds empowering.
I'm sure that she's feeling really great about herself now.
I think empowering is the last way I'd be empowered. I don't think is how I'd be feeling.
No, I don't know. To me, I've never been in that particular situation.
Oh.
No, I was accusing you of doing that kind of thing. You don't have to defend yourself.
Casper's like,
I swear, that's not happened
I
to me.
feel like I'm like the expert of shit here. So I'm just like, anyway,
bless her. I can't really give advice on it. It's really, I wouldn't know what to suggest other than like, because it happens, doesn't it? I guess it does happen.
Which end would you prioritise?
Well, she said it happened at the same time.
Yeah, which end would you prioritise?
I've been
which
in
one
a
are you
situation.
angling over the toilet?
I've been sat on the toilet and vomited on the floor before.
I would,
because I'd rather clean up vomit than my own feces.
See, I prefer poo. I prefer to poo myself.
No.
That's a good TikTok.
Because
oh god,
like a shark.
What are you talking about? So you would be. Can you visualize it for a second?
What's going on here?
I've got a thing. I think
you got a thing you like to do.
I think throwing up
treat myself to
in public is such a it's more of a visual. Everyone looks and sees that that person's throwing up.
Oh, okay.
They won't know if I've shat myself or not. They smell it before they see it.
Joe, you're honest.
The waddle will give it away.
You got a toilet.
Slight waddle anyway.
You got a toilet.
Huh?
You've got a toilet in front of you. You're in a cubicle. What do you do?
Do you prioritise vomiting into the toilet or pooing into the toilet?
Like I'd almost just strip off. If I'm in a locked cubicle, I'd take all my clothes off. So
but that's happening at the same time.
Could you theoretically sit
stop destroying the set?
Just contort yourself
for a well executed set. No, theoretically, could you not sit on the toilet with your legs open?
Big toilet. No, I think you would vomit.
Yeah.
Vomit on yourself and.
Yeah.
It's
like when you get on an aeroplane. It's like if it crashes, protect yourself first, vomit on yourself first, and then help others.
Where I live,
I
was trying to do a quote.
I feel like a toilet. You got the toilet, then you got the bath sort of in front of it.
Oh, okay.
So I would actually, in a weird way, hope it's projectile and try and aim it into the bath.
Yeah. Or we could just entirely get in the bath,
2 buckets
naked,
full.
Do it all.
Yeah. But if you're at work, you don't have a bath. That'd be really weird.
Yeah.
Maybe where the sinks are together.
Yeah.
You get on the sinks. And then you can.
Oh yeah, that's actually pretty good.
Wow.
That is pretty good.
I think it's actually really bad.
Shitting in your work sink.
Yeah, that reminds me of a story.
Oh my god.
That is a very weird segue to
So, my first time going to Los Angeles ever, I didn't really know anyone. I went to a dinner with lots of other YouTubers and stuff. And I didn't know anyone, and I was jet lagged, and I've got a history of not a history, but I fainted twice in my life.
Oh,
right?
yes,
So I'm known as a fainter.
Yeah.
And I remember sort of being there, and I did. It was a sushi restaurant. I don't eat seafood, so I started panicking a little bit, being like, "Yeah, exactly." I felt like a very sort of overwhelmed. I was knackered, and I was like, "I don't feel good. So I got like anxious and thought I was going to throw up. So I rushed to the bathroom in this Japanese restaurant. I walked into the toilet, and I kid you not, there was toilets, but there was no cubicles. There's a urinal and there's a toilet, but it's not private.
What?
So first of all, I'm like, how the I swear to God.
This is not okay.
So I was like, I can even throw up in this toilet in front of people. Yeah, it's a toilet without a cubicle around it. Somewhere in LA, there's
literally to stop people from doing drugs, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. But who's...
Yeah,
you walk in the toilet and you're just walking, there's just a guy
what's the
sat
point
there
of having a normal toilet?
I don't know.
Is drugs such a common thing in Japanese sushi restaurants that they need to strip back?
So I left the toilet. So I thought this is bad. So I left the toilet because I couldn't be sick in a toilet with people in there going for a piss. So I ended up walking to the kitchen,
Oh yeah.
and I was like, I don't feel well. And I just passed out on the floor in the kitchen, like trying to vomit down this little drain they had in there. And all the staff were in there being like, "Ooh,
did this really happen?"
Yeah, ask Conor Franta.
Wow.
He was there, and Joey Graceffa. They were there. But I didn't know who they were. I didn't really know them that well at the time, so it was.
So that was the first two big.
It was the most awkward moment.
There were so many. So
so I'd rather shit myself.
Good advice. You just said then about how like you had loads of anxiety, and I now get into like meet influencers, especially YouTubers. I found that they are some of like the most mentally unstable people I've ever met in terms of like very anxious, very like nervous about meeting new people or doing new things, or like overanalyzing themselves and being very self-critical. Have you had much experience with that, or like do you find that in yourselves? Is it a YouTuber thing? I don't know.
I think it comes from like the amount people are on social media that can help lead it. There's many things I shouldn't try and diagnose a whole set of people.
Busy this
but yeah, no, for me, I think for me actually it was during lockdown that I started getting more socially anxious for some reason, and it was so you just hang out with people, but then kind of builds upon it, and as you say, you keep throwing that bag over the fence.
There you go.
And it helps. But yeah, I think it's not just YouTube. I think it's music. I think actors, anyone kind of in this space. I think there's a higher percentage of them who are maybe in their head a lot. And I don't know if that's because people like that are drawn to the space and are, those sorts of people, if it's the space is making them like that.
Yeah. So it is interesting because you would think that like people such as yourselves, or like people like us or big musicians, would have the most confidence in the world. But 9 times out of 10, it's the opposite. Like I found myself get so much more anxious as a person since this became my job. Like before, I would not give a shit about anything. But now you think, oh, if I do this, like what's this person? Or, like you overanalyze every possible route that anything could take.
It's like checking your vlogs. I check my vlogs 3 times before, make sure that my address isn't in anything.
And then it's all led to here.